Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. I hope you guys are doing okay. Now, Sparking Zero's reputation, at least online, is in the doghouse right now. A couple of days ago, the dramatic showdown for France took place where two grand finalists, Shiryu, and I believe his name is Hillister, we're going to call him Hilly for the sake of the video, decided to showcase to the world just how unserious this game truly is. And as someone that has previously defended this game and still finds a lot of enjoyment in playing it, I got sent message after message asking for my opinion of what had transpired. Did I still like the game? Do I still play it? Do I condemn the players for doing what they did? And if Sparking Zero has a bright future? So today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on everything that has transpired and what I think needs to happen next. Now, to start with, and I know this is going to sound harsh and somewhat disrespectful, but well done to the players for demonstrating to the world on Bandai Namco's live stream how desperately this game needs to be overhauled. People paid a lot of money for this game and they don't feel like they're getting their money's worth, and one thing I've learned about Bandai Namco is that once they get your money, they don't seem to care too much about what you think following that. Well, they're gonna care now. I mean, if it was my game, I'd care because that shit was absolutely embarrassing.
It's only gonna get better. This is month one of the game. There's gonna be a lot of time. We have DLC. I expect that we're gonna have more DLC. Yeah. So like, give the game time, guys.
12 seconds later.
We're gonna have superhero DLC, and who knows what they've got planned for the future as well. So let's see. But starting out here, we're flying around for a bit.
Oh my God, Shiryu versus Hillister at the grand finals to determine who is going to be going to Los Angeles, California for the Dragon Ball Battle Hour, and we are flying. Synchronized flight and immediately changing it up.
They are... We're trying to get 6 skill points? Like...
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What's the... Oh yeah, we're swapping out. More sick... What? We're doing it again.
Right, we're putting the buffs on. Alright, okay. Alright, these guys... Alright. There's a gentleman's agreement in effect. There has to be. These fellas... I refuse to believe otherwise.
Yeah, what is going on here? Come on.
These guys are like... It's 1 AM in France already? Okay, bet. We go until 2 AM.
I have some questions. I really like flying up and down as well.
Yeah, so how's your day been, Jake?
It's been great, man. I really, I'm really happy. I'm really happy to hang out with my son a little bit later. We've been watching all of Dragon Ball, so it's been a treat. We are currently right after Goku wishes back. I can't remember his name right now. Wishes back.
I was watching it and getting secondhand embarrassment as someone that actually enjoys the game. I was showing it to my friends as we were sitting in our hotel rooms in Greece, and we were laughing at the game as people that actually like the game. I mean, it was so embarrassing that the production team cut back to the commentators who really had no idea what to say, and I don't blame them. Tyrant could barely keep a straight face. It was shambolic on all accounts. And this is not the only tournament where this took place, but we're going to get to the other two a little bit later on in the video. I want to focus on these two for now. So why is this such a big deal since the game was always supposed to be unbalanced, chaotic fun? Well, because the developers and by extension the game itself are now at odds with each other. You marketed this game as being absolutely broken madness, and so a lot of people took it that way. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea, but hindsight is 2020, but that's what happened and largely people accepted it. The game came out and people were annoyed, and rightfully so, because aside from being broken, elements of the game were just completely unfun. There's nothing particularly fun about someone continuously going into sparking mode, and yes, before anyone's like, there's counterplay, we know that. The point here is the design itself is so poor and easy to exploit, and these are some of the best players on the game, so before you say skill issue, I would think twice. These guys would probably destroy you in a second. It's not that they couldn't play, but that they were protesting the state of the game, and also they are tournament players. So if this is the most effective way to victory, then why wouldn't they do it? It's not on them to play the game a certain way. It's on the developers to make the game in a way that doesn't allow for these sort of things to happen. And it is on tournament organizers to construct a tournament in a way where if they know there are broken things in the game, make sure the rule sets compensate for that. Neither of these things were done. The players are not at fault here. But I guess the real issue here is, why would you intentionally design the game to be a poor and broken, unbalanced mess and then announce a tournament series for it. Doesn't that kind of go against the very point of the game? It's like pick a lane, guys. If you're going to hold a tournament series for this game and do them yearly, then balance the game in a way that fits tournament standards and needs. And no, balancing does not mean removing fun, and to be honest with you, if you think this is fun, then never design video games, and I mean that. Balancing in this instant just means making things make sense and flow well in the game so we can have exciting battles. It does not mean put Hercule on the same level as Janemba or put Videl on the same level of Gogeta. It means fixing system mechanics so we can have an actual fun time playing the game and watching it. Things should be working in harmony. And right now, this game is not fun to watch, not by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't end there though, because the people in charge of the tournament pulled the players aside and told them to play seriously or they're getting disqualified. And I'm sorry, but what the hell is that about? The screenshots are here for context. In other games and in other tournament circuits, what you're watching Dr. Gero do just wouldn't be possible. If you try to find an exploit like this in Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, or even Mortal Kombat 1 in its current form, it wouldn't work and you'd lose because the aggressor would figure out a very simple way to overcome it. But in Sparking Zero, this is such a powerful tool and effective way to play the game that you can actually get away with doing it, stalling for skill points and then winning the match off using a few key blasts. And this is one of many reasons why people don't take this game seriously as a competitive fighting game. Like I said, you can compete on it just like you can compete on Mario Kart, just as long as you are aware of what the game is. Yes, you might be in first place the entire race, but a blue shell can and will change all of that and tank your hard work by way of RNG. That is the way Mario Kart has always been. You can run tournaments for it as long as you accept the reality of what Mario Kart is, as long as you accept its nature. I've been to Mario Kart tournaments. They're a lot of fun. Everyone knows what's going on and nobody gets upset. The developers and tournament organizers need to follow suit. They need to copy what the Mario Kart guys are doing, or anybody else playing these games that have a lot of RNG in them or weird janky mechanics, and move accordingly. Or create a rule set that lends to the tournament scene. Or, and I know this one might be really out there, but actually balance your game with a clear vision in mind instead of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like seriously guys, pick a lane. You were embarrassed on your own live stream and I'd wager it's not going to be the last time. As a matter of fact, as I said at the beginning of the video, it was not the first time it happened either, but we'll get to that in just a moment. People had high expectations for this game and you kind of let them down. To make matters worse, to not be disqualified, Hiller changed their teams and guess what? Their opponent just continued to do the same shit over and over again and Hiller went on to lose.
All right, so there we go, guys. You saw the game, you saw it for yourself. Shiryu ends up taking it though, and with that, will be qualified to the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour using that UI Goku.
Yep, so we're going to be seeing them in LA utilizing the UI.
And to everyone saying there's counterplay to this, please, just stop that nonsense. You can't just throw around there's counterplay to this after every sentence like you're the enlightened one. Besides, I tested the counterplay that is on offer. One of them being charging up a beam and then letting it curve, and it's useless guys, and you know that. Once your movement gets good enough in this game, what Dr. Gero was doing was effective enough. He would have been able to move out of the way most of the time. The odds are entirely in your favor. Counterplay only really works effectively when there is even levels of counterplay, not when something is so overwhelmingly in somebody else's favor that it makes it too much of a risk to go for the counterplay. And like I said, this was not the only instance of this. In the Mexico Online qualifiers, you can see here Teen Gohan that comes out is maxed out in key with 1 skill point when that is not supposed to happen. What is happening here exactly? People are exploiting the item, so the tournament organizers were not even aware of what was going on, so that shows poor management. It also happened in the UK Online qualifiers in the semi-finals. Again, you can see Android 17 comes out with maxed out key when it should only come out with 3 key bars. There has been clear oversights because originally these developers did not plan this game to be played on a tournament circuit, and I don't know what changed in that time. As I said, once again, you can play it competitively if you want, but you need to accept the reality of what this game is, or at the very least, pay attention to the players. These players may not have done this on purpose, but the fact of the matter is that you guys did not pick up on this, and these matches have been finalized now. So you've got game-breaking exploits in which Dr. Giro was doing, and then you've got people potentially using items, or even worse, the game was just glitching out and allowing these things to happen. Either way, this is not good. Jun Furutani and the Bandai Namco team that work on Sparking Zero need to seriously look at this. And it has just blown up on Twitter into a much bigger conversation about this game. Now, some people are demonizing the players. I don't understand why you would demonize the players when it's inside the game. I also don't know why you would demonize the players if the tournament organizers did not have the wherewithal to make sure that the correct checks and balances were made. I also don't understand how you can demonize the players when the developers did not balance this game correctly and intentionally left these things in the game. It is not the players' fault that this happened. It is the developers and the tournament organizers, and they need to take their fingers out of their bums and actually do something. Now, we know a patch is on the way, but I would not hold my breath with this patch. And so the dramatic battles are going to continue, and people are going to continue to air their grievances with this game until something is done. We will see what happens in December. Again, like I said, I'm not holding my breath. This is Bandai Namco we're talking about. They're probably going to do the most minor, insignificant change, but I'd love to be wrong on that. I really would, because I paid top dollar for this game, and I would appreciate if they fixed it and pushed it in a direction that everybody can appreciate. Now, as I said, personally speaking, I still like the game. I think it's fun in small to medium doses, and there is a fair amount to explore and learn about the battle systems, but it is largely unrefined and it needs work, like most fighting games that have ever existed. Am I personally hopeful for the future of this game? Well, in terms of it becoming a much better game, if you're talking about it becoming a much better fighting game and having more refined mechanics, then my honest answer is no. But in terms of DLC and artificial updates, sure, I think they will make it better. I think it will be a more full product. I'm just not sure the fighting system is going to improve much until we get a sequel to this game. Much like we saw of the original Budokai Tenkaichi going into Budokai Tenkaichi 2, that was a massive step up. The original Budokai Tenkaichi was not received well. And with DLC and artificial updates, personally speaking, because I'm not really a tournament player, that's okay for me. I play it in small doses, but if you're going to be promoting this game as a tournament game and you're going to have tournament players and they're going to be flying out to compete in your tournaments, there needs to be some serious changes to this game, and you have to pick a direction and you have to follow it. This game does need to become more nuanced. It does need to become more complex. It does need to have actual thoughtful counterplay. This game does have a future. I'm just not entirely sure how bright it is right now. The community is at odds with each other. The developers seem to be at odds with the direction of the game, and it's all around just been a very weird experience. What was supposed to be a grand return of Budokai Tenkaichi has really turned into this sour experience that not everybody's enjoying, and as I said, the community seems to be at each other's necks. It's going to be interesting to see where things go, but given the fact that the Tekken developers have not been the most responsive when it comes to these things, I would not hold your breath, but I guess we will see. Anyways guys, thank you for checking out the video. Hope to see you all soon. Take care and peace.